Not sure if y'all know this, but I have a bit of a love affair going on with New Orleans. I've been spending a lot of time there. I love the culture, the cuisine, the music. And I was recently there for a business trip, a press trip really, with Louisiana seafood and was able to feast on some of the most delicious seafood around. One of the best dishes that I had I thought would be perfect for What's This Food? It's called Etouffee. Today's sponsor is Louisiana Seafood. We're going to do a few seafood episodes that are focused around Louisiana seafood, and this is the first of them. You can learn more about Louisiana Seafood at louisianaseafood.com. Louisiana Seafood Marketing and Promotional Board is the company that's sponsoring this episode, and they sort of took me down recently to New Orleans, and I got to experience just a whole boatload of seafood and food culture. We went out fishing, we learned how shrimp is caught and refined, crawfish, and we just learned about the seafood industry as a whole. Some fun facts: Louisiana Seafood provides about 1/3 of all of the seafood in America, and despite some of the unpleasantries that have happened down there lately, the food is amazing. It is extremely clean, extremely safe to eat, and actually is sort of at the highest level of safety standards of any seafood in America. So when you are at your grocer's counter and it says Louisiana Seafood, snatch it up because it is surely going to be tasty. Learn more about Louisiana Seafood at louisianaseafood.com. So today we're talking about Etouffee. Etouffee is a Cajun dish that's sort of really popular in New Orleans. It's popular in Southern Louisiana as well. And it's sort of like this really thick stew. It's much thicker than something like gumbo, which is also really popular and is maybe something that you've actually heard of. And just like gumbo, etouffee is usually served over rice. And unlike gumbo, which is kind of a mixture of a lot of different things, and you'll find gumbo with everything from sausage to seafood to chicken, etouffee is generally a little bit more stringent in its focus, as in what's inside of it. Generally, it has seafood. I'm making it today with some crawfish, which is like the perfect pairing for etouffee. And on that note, you might be saying, what are crawfish? Crawfish are these teeny little crustaceans. They are generally in fresh water, and they are sort of bottom feeders. They stay towards the bottom of the water. They don't go in waters that freeze, and they're like mini lobsters. They're like itty bitty little lobsters. Often you'll find them boiled. People will take off the tails, eat the meat, and then suck out the juices and the organs from the head of the crawfish. Or you'll see the tails put in all different things like soups and stews, or today, etouffee. Now, the word etouffee is French in origin, and it kind of means sauced or smothered. And it's kind of like what it becomes when you're cooking this dish. You have a bunch of things cooking inside of a roux, which we'll get to in a second, and eventually they kind of just smother this big bowl of rice, and you eat it all up, and it's hearty and delicious. Now, the base of an etouffee is a roux, and roux is sort of flour that gets cooked in some sort of fat, usually it's oil or butter, very, very slowly until it sort of becomes this nutty, brown, thick sort of sludge, really, that acts as a thickening agent and a flavoring agent when it comes in contact with liquid. Now, there is some heated debate over whether or not this dish should or shouldn't have a roux. Different regions in Louisiana prepare the dish differently. Sometimes it has a roux, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's a light roux, sometimes it's a very dark roux. Today, I'm going to make a super dark roux, and I'm going to warn you that when you're making your roux, you mustn't stop stirring. You're gonna sit there for 45 minutes stirring this. It's going to smell like it's burning at a period of time. It'll even put out a little smoke. Don't worry, keep going. Don't think that just because it lets off some smoke and it has a little bit of a sort of a burnt smell that it is burnt. Just keep cooking it until you have a chocolatey brown roux. Let's get started. Start off by sauteing 4 cups of chopped onions, 2 cups of chopped celery, and 1 cup of chopped green peppers. Once it's cooked, you can remove it. Then add 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of butter. Cook it over low heat and just keep stirring. Stir, stir, stir until you have a dark chocolatey roux. Then add about a tablespoon of your favorite Cajun seasoning. You can make Cajun seasoning by mixing equal parts of white pepper, garlic powder, some paprika, some black pepper, and some cayenne pepper. Then add your veggies and cook them up for a bit inside of the roux. While that's cooking, you're going to bring a pot of piping hot chicken stock to a boil and slowly ladle in the chicken stock into the roux until well blended. You're going to put a total of 2 cups of chicken stock into the roux. Then add a teaspoon of tomato paste. Cook it for another 20 minutes over medium heat until it thickens up nicely. Then add about 2 pounds of crawfish tails. They will come cooked already. You can get them at your higher end fishmonger. Finally, finish with a tablespoon or 2 of butter. Serve it over some white rice and enjoy. Shout outs to Anne from the New Orleans School of Cooking for teaching me how to make this lovely dish. Tune in tomorrow for another What's This Food? Check out our sponsor, louisianaseafood.com. Get your hands on some tasty seafood today. And if you have something you want me to cover, you can post it in the comments below or find me on Facebook by going to danieldelaney.com/Facebook. I will see you over there.